What does it mean when people say, Mao built the foundations, Deng built the house, and Xi made it pretty? This catchy saying floats around Chinese social media and academic circles alike, but beneath the surface it tells the story of China's dramatic transformation from rural poverty to modern superpower. Let's unpack it leader by leader. Mao Zedong, chairman, revolutionary, and architect of modern China's birth. In 1949, he declared victory over civil war and foreign domination. The People's Republic of China was born. But Mao inherited a devastated country, poor, largely illiterate, and broken by warlordism and colonial exploitation. So what was the foundation Mao laid? For starters, literacy campaigns swept across the countryside. In 1949, only about 20% of Chinese could read and write. By the time Mao died in 1976, literacy had risen to over 65%, a massive leap for a nation with a rural majority. Mao also introduced basic public health care, land reforms, and industrialization drives. These helped raise life expectancy and improve the Human Development Index, even in the face of setbacks. But the cost was steep. The Great Leap Forward, Mao's attempt to industrialize overnight, led to mass famine and tens of millions of deaths. The Cultural Revolution shattered institutions and silenced intellectuals for a decade. Still, Mao left behind a unified country with a mobilized, educated population and state control over land and capital, ready for the next phase. Then came Deng Xiaoping. After Mao's death in 1976 and the fall of the Gang of Four, Deng emerged as China's new leader and its great reformer. His mission? Modernization without chaos. Deng introduced the policy of reform and opening up. He allowed private enterprise, welcomed foreign investment, and encouraged special economic zones in places like Shenzhen, a fishing village that would soon become a megacity. China's GDP growth exploded. From the early 1980s to the late 1990s, the economy grew by over 9% a year, lifting hundreds of millions out of poverty. By the early 2000s, China was a global manufacturing powerhouse. But building the house came with cracks. Corruption seeped in, as officials enriched themselves through land deals and backdoor privatization. Pollution became endemic, air in cities turned gray, rivers ran black, and cancer villages dotted industrial zones. And perhaps most importantly, inequality surged. Coastal cities boomed, but the rural interior lagged behind. Urban elites thrived, while millions of migrant workers toiled with little access to education or health care. Still, Deng's blueprint transformed China from a revolutionary backwater into an economic titan, capable of building the future. Now we come to Xi Jinping, the man who, as the saying goes, made it pretty. Since 2012, Xi has presided over a China that is richer, more powerful, and more connected than ever before. And he's determined to make it look the part. China now boasts the world's largest high-speed rail network, over 40,000 kilometers, connecting even remote provinces to urban hubs. Cities like Shanghai, Chongqing, and Shenzhen sparkle with futuristic skylines, modern subways, and thriving EV industries. China is the global leader in electric vehicle adoption, producing cutting-edge models at scale. Urban life, especially in the East, feels modern, prosperous, and efficient, a tech-savvy consumer paradise with a veneer of order and progress. Xi has also re-centralized power and promoted traditional culture, encouraging a new Chinese nationalism under the banner of the Chinese Dream. His anti-corruption campaign took down over 1 million officials and earned him popular support. but critics say the prettiness comes with new restrictions. Censorship has tightened, surveillance technology is everywhere, and dissent is increasingly suppressed. Where Deng opened up, Xi has consolidated, tightening control over media, private enterprise, and ideology. Still, for many inside China, the results speak for themselves. Gleaming cities, world-class infrastructure, rising national pride. The house doesn't just stand, it shines. So when people say Mao built the foundations, Deng built the house, Xi made it pretty, they're summarizing a century of struggle, ambition, and transformation. Mao gave China its identity, Deng gave it prosperity, Xi gave it polish and power. But beneath the surface, big questions remain. Can the house weather global storms? Will the pretty exterior mask deeper cracks? And most of all, who gets to live well inside the house? If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What do you think China's next chapter will be? And who's going to do the next renovation?